Welcome back to Inside Africa. It's a different look for some familiar faces as South African satirists take on the political elite with puppetry. Our Robyn Curnow went behind the scenes of a new show that dares to play with politics.
Oh, I see. So there's Brown.
No, he's not James Brown, Dada, and he's definitely not the sex machine. It's Gordon Brown.
South Africa's two wise old men, Nelson Mandela and Archbishop Desmond Tutu, are the unlikely comedy duo in a satirical puppet show called Zanews.
Of course, I know who Gordon Brown is, Desmond. Do you think that I'm past it already?
No, of course not, Dada. I didn't mean it like that.
The producer of this fake daily newscast is Thierry Kasuto.
The beauty of these two characters is that they can say anything they want.
Well, because it's Mandela and Tutu.
Absolutely. They have opinions and everything.
And they're the moral voice of your show. Well, they're the moral voice of this country. Yeah. And no one listens to them half the time anyway.
That's exactly it. And they know it. And of course, it's the classical comedy scenario where there's the straight guy and the funny man. So they play off one another.
Saint Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store.
Their dialogue and accents are crafted by scriptwriters, producers and voiceover artists
Oh, my soul to the ANC cause.
who sound almost exactly like their alter egos.
Saint Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the ANC cause.
The personality that grows out of these two latex characters is that they become real. At a certain point, the mix of the voice combined with the very fleshy nature of the latex puppets, all of a sudden they become real in a very peculiar kind of way.
Why are we doing this? Because here we can.
But for many years now, they couldn't. Local television stations, both public and private, refused to air this satire because apparently South Africans weren't ready for this kind of political humour, say the producers.
But I want to.
No, sir, you can't.
Now the show's main home is on the internet, and they have a late-night slot on a small satellite business channel, which means not many South Africans get to see Zanews mock the country's most familiar faces. Many, though, will be familiar with the caricatures, which are based on the drawings of South Africa's best-known political cartoonist, Zapiro.
The ability to be able to say things that are rude, offensive, outrageous, and make people think, really important.
And they're funny.
Hopefully funny.
Do people find this funny? I mean, how many people laugh? Do you think, are there different types of funny, and do people take it in different ways?
Yeah. I mean, some people find some things hilarious, and other people find the same thing completely offensive.
President Jacob Zuma is not amused with the way Zapiro has drawn him in the past. He's suing Zapiro for defamation for the way he's depicted in two sets of Zapiro's cartoons. Now you're actually bringing your drawings to life. There's the president. Does that make you feel happy to actually feel and touch him and stroke his head?
Well, he's got his little double bump, which is a very kind of unique feature of our president, and he's got his eyes. When we made the first version of this, I was trying to actually make the eyes point outwards, slightly a kind of outward squint, if you know what I mean, as I do in the cartoons. But they need to actually engage the viewer, so that didn't work. But it was fascinating for me to make this character who is quite a scary populist in a way, Jacob Zuma, but also very charismatic when you meet him in person. I've seen him in operation. I've sort of stood a few feet away from him and observed. He can be a very charming guy, and the puppet needed a little bit of that warmth.
Christmas specials.
So these images are funny for some, insulting to others. But mostly the creators say Zanews has had plenty of positive feedback. And for a show that pokes fun at the news stories of the day, the newest additions to the puppet cast are FIFA President Sepp Blatter and the South African organizer Danny Jordan.
You know, Sepp Blatter is the almighty. He probably ranks up there as high as the Pope, probably higher in the world hierarchy. So when he comes here, he's almost, he's a head of state.
So, and you sort of treat him like a deity?
And we're going to treat him like, a representative of God, which is, football is definitely a religion. So he is the representative of that religion. So that's how he's going to be, and he's going to have this little Danny Jordan coming out of his pocket and speaking on behalf of Sepp Blatter in his own way. So yes, I think it's easy to take the mickey out of FIFA because they're so powerful. And we have to have everything their way. They dictate everything.
This could be fun.
Hey,
And of course, those two old funny guys also have lots to say about the upcoming football.
You can be England or Brazil.
no, I want to be Argentina or France. Then I can use the hand of God.
Ah.
Robyn Curnow, CNN, Cape Town.